I'm delighted to present this next award on behalf of the CSJ staff. One of the most frequent phrases at the CSJ of late has been, "Did you see the Evening Standard last night?" Those of you who have been following its unprecedented Dispossessed campaign will have probably been as moved as we have been. I'll never forget reading the opening article of the series. It revealed harrowing accounts of paupers' graves and how the poorest parents in London were queuing up to bury babies 4 to a grave in the shadows of Canary Wharf. And since, whether it's been exposing childhood hunger, homelessness, or street gangs, the Dispossessed campaign has changed the debate and sparked unparalleled action against the open wound that is poverty in this wonderful capital city of ours. Front page after front page after front page, it has rallied the great and the good. And while the media has taken a battering of late, this campaign and its primary pioneer, the brilliant David Cohen, has embodied journalism at its very best. Through the Dispossessed campaign, David and his team have raised more than £8.3 million to help local grassroots projects. This money is going to projects working with the most vulnerable people in London. And the work continues. This wasn't just a one-off, including a brilliant book called Calling London and relentless exposure of the scandal of those left behind. So David and the Evening Standard, the CSJ salutes you and your work, and we stand with you. Thank you for giving a voice to the voiceless of London. We are so honoured to have David here this evening to collect this award. So would you join me in please welcoming him to the stage to collect the inaugural CSJ Media Award, the unique Dispossessed campaign, and David Cohen.
It's a real honor and privilege to be here tonight. I don't know what to say following an introduction like that. Journalists don't follow far behind bankers sometimes. In fact, last year, this time, I was at a panel meeting for the John Smith Memorial Trust at number 11 Downing Street, and the subject for the day was, can the media be a force for good? The Dispossessed came up. It was also on the same day that the News of the World was closed. So, the Dispossessed started not as a campaign. It started as an old-fashioned newspaper investigation. It began with an exploration of paupers' graves, as has just been said, but also really looking at deprivation and poverty throughout London. And we had no intention to launch a campaign or to start a fund that would raise millions of pounds. It was, in fact, the incredible response of the readers to the paper, unprecedented, certainly in the 10 years that I've been at the Standard, that led us to think that maybe we needed to take this one step further. The paper had never raised more than £250,000. Being a commuter paper, it's quite difficult to raise huge amounts, and we set out with the ambitious goal of trying to raise £1 million, which we achieved to some astonishment after 20 days. Again, the reader response to our stories was just incredible, and we've gone on to raise £8.3 million. We had a grants meeting on Friday, in fact, where we were 4.5 times oversubscribed to give out the next £1 million from groups very much like the ones that have been honoured here tonight. It really is very close to the Dispossessed's core and heart to see the kind of groups that you have honoured today, which are when you look at 80 or 90 grant applications, you see just the enormous creativity of grassroots Londoners, and it is a real honour to be now involved in trying to support groups like this Finally, I just want to pay tribute to Ian Duncan Smith for founding such a wonderful and interesting think tank. And again, on behalf of a wonderful team at the Standard, I'm just a small cog in a much bigger wheel. Thank you for this award.